This is my lesson plan for implementing the NETS standards. The topic of my lesson is motion and forces. Content standards covered are basically explaining the relationship between force, mass, and motion. Students must carry out an investigation and analyze the motion using math and graphs. They also must be able to explain, using experimental evidence, Newton's 3 laws of motion. The NETS standard used in this unit are creativity and innovation, communication and collaboration, research and information fluency, digital citizenship, and technology operations and concepts. To begin my unit, my students will have to take a motion and forces pretest. I will use this data to help group students. The second portion I will use to help group students is to have them complete a technology use assessment using Google Forms. Students will answer questions such as which types of technology they use on a regular basis, the types of technology they have at home, what activities they use the computer for, specific apps they may have experience with, and how comfortable they feel with using technology. At the beginning of the unit, students will be given a unit checklist that has the standards listed as well as all the assignments they will be required to turn in throughout the unit. First assignment they will have to do is to obtain, evaluate, and communicate information. Students will be given different types of media in order to research the information. Science 360 and NVC Learn are going to be the technology that they are suggested to use in order to find this information. However, they can use other sites as well. They will also be allowed to use textbooks, their school textbook, a Smithsonian Knowledge Encyclopedia, as well as classroom manipulatives such as Newton's Cradle, which is shown here. Once students obtain their information, they will communicate using a Padlet the relationship between force, mass, and motion, and the effects of changing the variables into greater or lesser quantities. Students will explain the changes and include a picture that would help communicate their answer. Next, students will take a photo of and describe one of Newton's laws of motion using everyday activities. They will upload this photo to Flickr to a group site where they will then communicate with their peers in the classroom. Students have a variety of requirements on this project. They will be required to post their own photo. However, in order to differentiate, I do allow students to use photos already taken as long as they use Flickr Creative Commons. Students are required to comment on other peers' photos, giving evidence on whether they support the law and the picture that is represented, or if they disagree with this law. Students wishing to expand on this or extension may actually include more than just one law. The final portion is for students to create an iMovie called Newton's Discovery. In this, they can choose to use iMovie or another type of video production multimedia. However, they must have prior approval from me. The closing event would be students presenting their iMovie, and then afterwards they would write a reflection in their interactive notebook. In this notebook, they may give suggestions on how the assignments could be improved, if they thought they were effective. They will also be required to fill out a group work evaluation form on their group members. And then as a class, we will discuss the indicators of engaged learning and see how many of those engaged learning indicators were used in the unit. Recommendations for future use would be having at least one iPad or iPhone per group, always having access to Chromebooks, allowing students a choice of tools, Collaborating, of course, with math teachers, allowing for plenty of time, especially for technical difficulties, such as posting to the group from Flickr. There were a few difficulties with that. Making parents aware of technology used in the unit and reminding them of the technology use policy. Basically, any inappropriate material that is researched during this unit will be disciplined. And that concludes my presentation. I hope you would be interested in using this in your classroom as well one day. Thank you.